Yes, that means that I'm live. That means that I'm live, and I need you to log on. Nah, what's up, y'all? Log on to doggiediamondstv.com. That is my official website. A lot of times you might be looking for content. It's right on that website. It is good for your mobile. It works on everything. Doggiediamondstv.com. Just bookmark it and just log on there. Go on the site periodically. Doggiediamondstv.com. And have you heard about my $100 promo deal? If you didn't, think you should take advantage of it really quick. Let me give you some details. First and foremost, the promotion will be done on Doggie Diamonds TV and the Interlude TV. That's on the Insta stories, the YouTube community, the threads, the Facebook, the Twitter accounts. I can promote whatever you need. However, this is for serious inquiries only. Must be Cash App ready. I can help you bring more awareness to your products. Just contact me at Doggie Diamonds on Instagram. Listen, and after you get the promotion and you need to learn how to roll it out, you can hit up at Coach Kandaka on Instagram. She's now accepting new clients, and this is for artists, podcasters, business owners, content creators like myself. The services include social media growth, brand clarity, organic supporter building, rollout strategy, product management, and monetization strategy. Just email. No, don't email. DM, that's better. At Coach Kandaka on Instagram. And listen, this show right here is sponsored by Cam Ops TV. Cam Ops TV is a new channel showing you what the ops, you can see just look at it, who you think it's about. Yeah, make sure you go there too, Cam Ops TV. That's what this show is sponsored by. Let's go. Yes. Make sure you get them likes up. Them likes got to be liking. Yes. 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 What's up? I don't like them timestamps in there. In the chat, we got
Doggie Diamonds did this.
We got K Fighter, Sister Keisha in the building. Thorough Black Talk is in the building as well. Make sure you subscribe to that channel too, Thorough Black Talk Worldwide. Rick Gatlin, I see you. EC is in the building. A Boogie 315, Watts Lights, what's going on? DJ Mecca X, what's up? What's going on? Twan G, what's up? Sincere, what's going on? A Child, how you doing? Corvus Glaive, I think I said that right. Coach is in the building to hold down the chat. As usual, Lot 623 is in the building. Johnny Utah, what's up? Don't forget.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
Yes. Reggie T, what's up? Juman 96 is in the building. RA, what's up? Iceberg Slim is in the building. Disrupting Reality NYC is in the building. Make sure you get them likes up. We got over 100 people here so far. Only 26 likes. We got to get them likes up. Them likes got to be liking. Let's get them likes up. Let's get them likes up. Let's get them likes up. I should have had the voice on. Let's get them likes up. Let's get those likes up. Let's get those likes up. Yes. Yes. D. Lewis, what's up? I like your last name. It's very similar to mine. Earl Ellis, what's up? Yes. Iceberg, what's going on? BX is in the building. And don't forget,
Doggie Diamonds did this.
Jonathan Hamilton, Reagans, what's up? A Child, what's up? Ernest Vibes.
I'm sick of this shit.
Yes, alive from the beginning. Ernest Vibes, what's up?
I'm sick of this shit. So you better tiptoe. You need to tiptoe.
Freddie Kendricks, I see you.
So schizo, ready to flip. You need to tiptoe.
Shy Northside is in the building as usual.
So schizo. Ain't no cure for the sick. Next look, next step on my foot. Next smart ass remark, next spot I can't park, next job denial, next fake ass smile, next bump on a walk past, I'm on a warpath.
I gotta show y'all this channel right here. It's called Cam Ops TV. You know, they trying to get monetized, trying to get their weight up. So I wanna look out for them. Nice looking channel, nice logo. everything look good on here. You know what I'm saying? I like what I'm seeing so far from this channel. So I'm going to put it in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, Cam Ops TV. Okay? All right. Now that I got that out the way, how's everybody doing this evening? I know I'm on here late. I shouldn't be on here this late, but you know what? What else is going on, right? We do what we got to do. We ate dinner already. We went to the gym. We made all our phone calls. We did everything we need to do. Corvus, that is my cousin. His name is Potent. That's a song that I produced. So people who's been here is familiar with the record. So I'm going to put the full record out because I always play the instrumental. But his name is P-O-T-N-T, Potent. So what brings us here tonight? Oh, and the Cam Ops is right there. You can see I actually put it in the chat. So make sure that you go to the channel, subscribe. Let's get their numbers up and let them know that I sent you. And you can see the banner down there, Cam Ops, you know. So, and if you want your banner here, like Cam Ops got their banner here, make sure you hit me up. So, the past couple of days, there's been so much going on in the culture. I got more to talk about, but I can only talk about a little bit at a time. Got some interviews coming out. You know, hopefully y'all saw the interview that I put out earlier. Y'all watched that. Second interview with Jamil Honesty. So hopefully y'all saw that. He did a dope project that I think y'all should listen to. You know, I'm only trying to support dopeness, new stuff, you know, introduce new things to the culture, a little bit of old and new. But I wanted to talk about Dame Dash and the Breakfast Club interview, which Dame Dash is like a cheat code, right? He could definitely break the internet anytime he does any content, any footage, especially the Breakfast Club. I like when he does the interviews with Kenyatta too. I think those are dope. I like when he does his thing on American New too. But the Breakfast Club, being that he goes there and they already have, like, I don't want to say a rivalry, but it is a rivalry, and he goes there to clarify some stuff. And to a certain extent, they ask some tough questions. I think it comes out with great content a lot of the times. I think also that one of the disadvantages of him going on the Breakfast Club is that he doesn't really get to teach. And I think people, where he goes into certain spaces, he kind of knows that he's going to be attacked. So he knows that he's on the defense already. He kind of got like his mind made up. And him and Charlamagne have been going back and forth for a while. I guess they would say pause in that situation, but I don't do pause and none of that other stuff no more because I just don't want to. I just want to have conversation and dialogue. You know, I'm not no mook. So I don't have to, you know, reiterate that. I just ain't. So that's it. He went on the Breakfast Club, and he goes on there, Reggie T, I appreciate you setting that super chat off. And see, when you give me a super chat, you immortalize on the screen forever. So you could go and show your family at this part, look at my name come up. And you could type whatever you want. You could promote your channel, promote your music, promote whatever you want. You could put it right in the super chat. It's the best thing to do. And I gotta shout it out. So he went on the Breakfast Club, and I feel like when he goes on there, he's on the defense. But Dame is a mental chess player because his defense is very offense at the same time. And he comes from the era of snapping. He comes from the era of, you know, rebuttals. He comes from the era of being quick-witted when somebody says something to you. So that's why the interviews go the way they go. I think one of the disadvantages of the interviews is that we don't really get to hear him teach because he has a great mind. And I think when we zero in on his so-called shortcomings and the things that are viral that we really don't know, and we're going there and we're kind of like going off of rumors, gossip, and what we think, we don't really get clarity on a lot of things. What he talked about with bankruptcy, I didn't know that. So that's something that when he speaks, sometimes I like to research. But he went there and I felt like he was under attack based off of him saying to them about a boss, right? bosses take losses. I'm gonna be real with you, man. I've been a boss for a very, very long time. Helped a lot of people, helped myself, and it's times, y'all know, when I got, I don't even want to say the word, when they took away my earnings on here, it was tough on me, and I'm still recovering from that now. But being the boss of my operation, being the boss of what I am, I take all the risks. I'm going to take all the losses as well. There's nobody that I could blame for the losses that I take because I invest in myself. I put all my money into me. I put everything into my product. So when I lose, I lost. That's why I don't like partnerships, and I don't like to have partners besides my partner, Big Steel. But previously, when we lost, I was taking the blame for stuff that I didn't have to take the blame for, or I shouldn't have took the blame for. And that's the part of being in a partnership that's bad, because we're looking for blame. Sometimes things happen. For another thing, let me give y'all something too, right? And this for anybody who create content on YouTube, as I do. During the summer months, content doesn't do well because people are outside. Everybody looks at stuff on their phone, but people are outside. When it's colder and people are inside and more likely to sit in front of a laptop or computer or on their phone or streaming from their television, it gets dark faster, so the night seems very, very. It doesn't seem like the day is short. People who consume content different in the winter and fall months than they do in the summer months. So content suffers a little bit, unless you're acting like a jackass. If you're acting like a jackass and you're doing bozo shit, then your content don't suffer. But if you really, I think sometimes some of us keep it too real, where people don't want real. People want, mixed reality. People want a little bit of real, but then they want jackass. People want the vibrate and stuff. So, they could say, oh, well, look at him. They this too. If you trying to get people to vibrate higher, and if Dame does like a whole course on teaching stuff on the music industry, I don't think people would tune in. I think if he's snapping or he's talking about people or responding to people, I think people tune into that, because we want to learn things about people that we didn't know. But it's always some type of shortcoming. It's never, anything that's productive or anything that's uplifting. We want to hear how, a person ran, a person snitched, a person's a bitch, person got robbed. This is what we want to hear about people. If we say, yo, man, he wrote that song in 2 days, and then we just don't care about shit like that. That's why overall the culture suffers, because the people who are creative and want to show you creative things and want to do dope shit, nobody really cares. People will be like, my shit doper. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care about him doing no dope shit. I do doper shit than him, but I want to hear how fucked up he is, So the narrative that Dame Dash is broke is what got him on these shows, because now he's going places campaigning, defending his brokenness, or trying to rebut what happened to his money, or, his main rebuttal is people watching Pockets Talk Show, the visionary. I appreciate you for the super chat. Rebutting that, talking about another man's pockets is some, some girly mouth stuff. But I feel like a lot of times people never really, really ask him about his great mind and how he was a part of, and no pun intended, Talk Show the Visionary just sent a super chat, how he was a visionary and a lot of the great things that still goes on in the culture today that people benefit from. I don't think people utilize Dame the way that he can't be used, because he's so busy on the defense, because we going off of narratives, we going off of bankruptcy. Charlamagne said the president is a bad businessman, but he's the president. He's been bankrupt. He filed for bankruptcy 6 times, and he's a billionaire. That don't sound like a bad businessman to me. I think when we hear broke, because there's 2 things that you should never, that we call each other in our culture, in our community, You know, of course, our community is not where we live, but it's a community of the minds and meeting of the minds and the mentality. We call each other broke. We call each other mooks. We call each other, those are names, or the names that we don't ever want to be called is broke, a fun boy, and a hater. So when we get called these things, it's just triggering. So Dame Dash, a so-called cakeaholic, somebody who got to the money in many different ways. When people call him broke, I know it's triggering for him. But at the same time, when I really was doing the knowledge of this shit, I was like, yo, he could be playing the game, because when 50 Cent said he was broke, when he spelled out broke with money, when he filed for bankruptcy and hid his money because of that lawsuit, nobody didn't really accentuate that. Nobody was like, yo, 50 is a bum, he fell. Nobody did that. You know, nobody did that. You know, and not to compare the two, but you know, they are so-called rivals. 50 did it too. He filed for bankruptcy. He wrote broke. He did a lot of things, and nobody nobody really said anything bad about him. It's like, yo, he's smart. I know what he doing and all that. But when it come to Dame, it's like, oh, he broke. You know, and like I say, with people with their teeth, that's a sign of health. You know, when your teeth, you know, that's your bones. You know, I seen people lose their teeth due to methadone use. I grew up across the street from a methadone center, so I know IV drug users. I know meth heads, methadone heads, and I know people who are trying to get clean. You know, they get methadone. So I seen them lose their teeth. You know, I seen their back. You know, their posture. Their bones are brittle, you know, that's the effects of methadone. So I you know, I know that's a health thing. But I think with Dame, he's not utilized in the way that he could be utilized, because there's a lot of questions that are unanswered in our culture of how many of us sat one-on-one across the table from the powers that be, the so-called check cutters and the elite, you know, the people who never face any scrutiny. We only face scrutiny, right? And then when they face scrutiny, they push us in a way, and then we come out and we come out and defend them, you know, right? Like, you know, if you say something about one of them, it's gonna be a million of us defending them. Like, he never did nothing wrong to me, you know. He did right by me. But you know, sometimes people have grievances and gripes. But when it's somebody with us that people have a grievance with, nobody comes out and say, yo, he did right by me. We watch people, you know, go after people's character and talk bad about them. But when it comes to them, it's like, yeah, he Master did good by me. Master let me eat. I ate all on chitlins Master gave me. You know, that's what I see. But I'm from a different mind frame, because you know, I know my history, and I know the ways and actions of people and why they act the way they act. You know, when it comes to them, you know, they don't even have to really go at it with us, because they could just hit a button and we go away. When we go at it with each other, it's a spectacle, you know. So Dame being on the executive side, doing the music, doing the film, doing the clothing thing, you know, that is culture. That's our culture. The music, the film, and the clothing. That's culture. That's hip hop, right? But nobody really talks about him or talk to him about that. Nobody really talk about him, what he did successfully. Now it's just all about what he did wrong, or you broke and you bankrupt and all that. And shit, man, that shit gonna happen, man. Business is business. Like, I don't judge a man how he lost it all. I judge a man how he get it back. Like, you know, if you fall 9 times, you got up 10. Like, you know, those folks, when they fall, they go take a long walk on a short pier. Nobody say nothing though. Like, it's just, you know, nobody say nothing with us, you know, because I've heard, you know, people say things about me that I'm broke, and, you know, and I'm like, how the hell am I broke? Like, what is broke? Cause I'm starting not to understand what broke is no more. Like, do you got a place to stay? Like, do you drive? Is your health good? Is your mental health good? Like, what is broke anymore? And I think that's an overused word in our culture because we just quick, yo, that nigga broke. I always told you, if you could count your money, you broke. If you can physically say, yo, I got this amount of money, you broke, because real money comes from assets that you can't even count because you got different money coming in. So that's one of the things that, yo, you broke ass nigga, you broke. Like, what is this broke thing that people like to just use? And I'm like, some of us have overcome insurmountable odds. Rashida, I see you. How you doing? Some of us have overcome insurmountable odds that, shit, if I don't have as much money as somebody else have, I damn sure have more money than I had. Because I come from absolutely nothing. Like, when I say nothing, I mean nothing. So the clothes that I had to wear, it's fashionable now. Like, shit, niggas buy clothes with holes in it. I had clothes with holes in it because they was old. You know, people want vintage shit. I had vintage shit because I was wearing played out stuff. And I'm talking about as a young man, as I became an adult, you know, I'm able to take care of myself and others. But, you know, it's like you broke. And I felt like that was just an attack. And it was almost like a thing to humiliate him. And I don't want to really say, Charlamagne made some good points to a certain extent, but so did Dame. He made some good points, because think about this, right? If you retire at a certain age, and the life expectancy is like 70 now, right? It's like 70. That means some of us got like another, like a dub or something. We up out of here. That don't really feel too good. So if you've been working for like 55, 60 years, you got like a dime of life left. And then if you have shows like the radio or the news, or even like myself for YouTube, that's why I don't come on here every night. I refuse to slut myself out. I know people want their fix or whatever, but yo, man, I gotta live. I gotta go out in that world, man. I gotta live life. I gotta be able to just walk and see flowers and see trees and see life and see people and see the damn sunlight, right? So if you go into work at 4 a.m. and it's dark, and then you come out after in the fall and winter time and it's dark, where the hell did you get your daytime at? And if you've been doing that for like 15 years, what is the reward? Is the reward money? It's like working graveyard shift. They call it graveyard shift for a reason. Like, you need that. You need that sunlight. You need that sunlight. You need that sunlight. You need that family time. You need that people time. Like, so that means you're never home to do homework with your children. You know, it's a lot. Like, is the reward worth the risk? Yeah. So me, coming from the entrepreneurial mind state and action, it's tough to clock in every day. So I salute y'all who do it because you want to do it, and some of you because you have to do it. But this shit hard too. But I couldn't imagine not being able to just go outside. I just couldn't imagine not doing it, not being able to do that. And what he said was real, like, because, right? Like, we need sunlight. So I don't know if you know or you can't see. Like, over there, I got like the sun coming in, right? Like, I got natural light on me, like natural sunlight. Of course, it's nighttime now, but when I'm on here in the day, I got like natural sunlight. Like, it's not enclosed. Like, I'm not in like some room where there's no windows and there's no fresh air. You know, I'll have some incense burning, some candle burning, the candles burning, wallflowers everywhere. Like, it's pleasant, you know, like it is. I couldn't imagine going somewhere and then doing that for like 10, 15 years. My reward is money, some fame. But it ain't really nothing that's positive, right? Like it's really to do this every day to find something that I could talk shit about somebody. And that's what all of this journalism culture has become. It's been like every day, let's find something that's gonna be interesting to shit on people. You know what I'm saying? That shit is really, because if I come on here right now, tomorrow, and I say, yo, did you know, like, there's a young man or woman who graduated college at 13, niggas gonna be like, so what? I don't give a damn about none of that. So what? But if I get on here and I say, yo, it was this 13-year-old who had a Draco and he went to the school, you know, I don't know. I'm just confused. Like, what do we want anymore? Like, even as somebody who create content, I don't even know what people want no more. But I see what's being consumed. I'm seeing what's being put out there, and I see what people are consuming. And it ain't no shit that's really sustainable. It ain't really nothing that's gonna help us. You know, it just ain't. You know, so it's confusing sometimes. And sometimes I hit, you know, like my core people, and I say, I don't even know what to talk about tonight. And I had put out an APB with y'all, you know, my audience. I engage y'all a lot. I did it in the YouTube community. And I was like, give me some topics to talk about that doesn't involve Black trauma. I got some answers, but I was like, do people really care about that if I talk about that? Like, they was like, you know, some people, shout out to everybody who responded too, because y'all are important. But people was like, talk about Black tech and talk about vacations and shit. I was like, 7 views. You know what I'm saying? 7 views. Like, goodness gracious. Like, what? That shit just, that shit, like, nobody really cares, man. It's like, when you creating content, like, nobody cares so much that you can't even get people to hit the like button or share or even leave a comment. You know, and I just think it's just overstimulation of content. So now you get to pick and choose what fits where you see yourself. So if you're a person who think negatively, you view the world negative, or you going through any traumatic experiences, any depression or anything, you don't want to hear no positive. Nobody want to hear that shit, Sharif. You don't even want a moment of anything. You want to find what fits your mindset. So you're going to find people that resonate with you. So being that calling somebody broke is culture-wide, and who's broke, and yo, we all come, well, I ain't gonna say we all, but many of us that I know come from food stamps, right? Come from public assistance, coming from food stamps, coming from public housing, coming from different things. So if you're not in that no more, you ain't broke, right? If you got a job and you able to sustain and maintain your life, even if you living from check to check, yo, you not broke. Broke, I've been broke. You know what broke is. Broke is when the lights go out and you don't know when they coming back on. Broke is when there is no food for days and you got to eat in school and shit and free lunch and borrowing sugar and oil and all that. That's what broke is. So now we be calling each other broke. And then we just like, yo, Dame is broke. And then it's like, well, Jay should help him. And I'm like, yo, the way we get involved in other people's relationships is weird now. Like we just, Jay should help him and Jay should do this. And we niggas be calling a nigga Jay like you know him. I've never called that nigga nothing else but Jay-Z. I'm not calling that nigga, I don't ain't on no first name basis with that. Yo, Jay or Hove or shit just be, and then People are so into that they forget their real life. I don't care if Cardi B is pregnant. I'm just going to be real with you. I just don't care. I just don't. That shit don't be news to me. And then the things that we consuming now and the things that we regurgitating is so bad that it's like, God damn, where the hell do I go now to get something that's fuel for my spirit? Because if I talk to said person, they want to talk about this bullshit. If I go on YouTube, they want to talk about this bullshit on my Facebook, on my Instagram, on my Twitter, on my TikTok, on all social media, to where you have people like your moms and grandmoms and adults like, so what's going on with what's his name? Diddy Pop, Diddy do, Diddy D. And you're like, yo, fuck you know about that. Right? So when we could utilize the dames for TED Talks, because yeah, he gonna have some shortcomings, but we all do though. I was demonetized for 6 months. I ain't want to say that word, but I was. It just is, it just happens, right? 6 month L. It was an L. I'm trying to, I'm still recovering from that now. I'm just being real with you, being really, really transparent. But being that I'm good with how I market, how I budget, how I do things, I was able to sustain and survive. Barely, but I am doing what I gotta do. But if I was on here crying, yo, could y'all get me off? And then if I did that, I would get clowned and ridiculed. Not like I didn't put 20 years in the culture. You understand what I'm saying? I put 20 years into this shit, so I don't have the right to ask for help and my assistance to keep going when they took shit from me from trying to service y'all with certain content, but dudes could come before you with a whole scam and y'all give them money. Or dudes could sit before you and tell you how much money they got and you give them money. I don't know. So I don't really like the broke thing. But even Dame, what I did respect about him is he didn't talk behind nobody back in that instant. He went and he told them what he thought about them. That's real shit. That's real to me. Now, I ain't going to talk behind your back. I'm going to sit with you, sit across from you, and tell you what I think. Love him or hate him, I just respect honesty. I respect honest people. I respect people who are not afraid to speak, because even look at the day and time we in. Now we're saying stuff, people losing their jobs, people losing. Jimmy Kimmel just got canned. So when they start canning their own, something is up. Many of us talk for a living. We want to be able to speak candidly and say what we want. But when you see them start doing shit to them, that's why I did that show about the elephant in the room. That's not going to get 50,000 views because sensationalized bullshit going to get the views because you have people who are paid opposition, who are put in these situations, who are promoted through these algorithms, who are promoted because they're going to help lead your dumb ass into doing and saying shit that's going to be detrimental to you in the long run. So when you see them get Jimmy Kimmel the fuck up out of here, what you think will happen to you? But I want to keep it real. I don't care. I'm going to say what I want. It's different to have that mentality when you ain't got nothing to lose. Even when it come to money, you'll have people, money ain't this, money ain't that. That shit sound good when you ain't got nobody to take care of and nobody depend on you. Money is not your God, but money is essential when you got people who don't understand that you got demonetized. They don't know that because this still has to stay on. This got to stay on. They don't care about that. That is not for children to know about. That is not for your loved ones to know about. It's up to you as a man to figure it out. So I always laugh when people, because they can't figure it out or it's not coming to them the way they think it should come to them, what they do, they'll just curse it all. Oh, money ain't this, money ain't that, money ain't this. Okay. You tell me what you can do without money. You can't eat good. You're going to be eating bullshit. Can't eat healthy. Healthy food is expensive. Shit. But this is people who will say all that eat bullshit, think bullshit. So instead of them trying to step their game up and figure it out, they'll just curse it. So that's where the broke shit start. You know, I used to eat, not by choice, but you know, we grew up on raviolis and shit. We grew up eating swine. We grew up on spaghetti and meatballs and oodles and noodles and all that shit. Luckily, many of us are in a space where we don't have to eat that no more because we had to eat Spam because it was cheap. It was so many siblings, children, parents, that people were eating out of affordability. Now, yo, we could go get a good salad. You could go get a bag of lettuce and cut. You know, we got options. That's why many of us didn't know that our health was bad because it was generational. Right? So when Dame says, yo, I put stuff into my family business, my kids' college is paid for, and this is paid for, and this, it's like, yo, how the fuck is he broke? Because broke is very spiritual. So is money. It's very spiritual. And people like to misquote, the love of money is the root of all evil. And people will regurgitate something incorrect instead of just looking up what's the correct thing. What's the correct phrase? And then y'all don't know if it's the poison book one day. Y'all don't know that was used to enslave us. You know, y'all just pick and choose. And when I say y'all, I don't mean my audience, but if the shoe fit, wear it. But Dame Dash obviously has advisors. That's them. And they told him, yo, in order for you to recover from this, that, and the third, you're going to have to do this, that, and the third. And instead of us sitting back saying, damn, he has the end with them that's going to give him some of the game that he's been giving out. Even from the backstage thing, he was giving out game. You know, we'll just say he's broke. So the broke guy gets written off, right? The broke guy just get written off. We just don't want to hear nothing he has to say because he's broke. But even the homeless man has information. Because I would say, well, how the hell you end up homeless? See, that's me, though, because I'm very inquisitive and I want to know. So I don't end up homeless because the homeless individual might have a big family. People love problem and fall on deaf ears when there's a solution. It's ironic how the majority of the population have smartphones, but we use it for non-productivity. I 100% agree with you. I don't want to mispronounce your name. I think it's Calculus, if that's how you pronounce it. Salute to you. That's a dope name and a dope spelling. I agree with you, man. That's why I use my phone. Like, you know, man, I do graphics. I just do so much, right? But the people who are so-called billionaires and intelligent, they don't tell you shit. But you listen to every word they say. They don't tell you shit. They not giving you no game and no information, right? But I will ask the homeless person. So what I would have did with Dame is I would ask him, yo, you so-called was a part of a company to have this and have that, right? How did you go from a so-called triple-digit million company to this, that, and the third. If you don't mind sharing your business, what happened? Because we all aspire to be triple-digit millionaires, right? We all aspire. Well, I do. You ain't gonna never hear me say, money ain't shit. Yeah. You ain't gonna hear me whining and complaining and saying weirdo shit, but then telling you, hit me or send me a cash app, right? You know that backwards shit. I would ask Dame, like, yo, what happens? How does it happen? And how is the money allotted from the record labels, the parent companies, the distribution companies to you? How did Def Jam give y'all money for Roc-A-Fella? And how does record deals work? Because one thing that we don't know a lot of the inside information. Niggas regurgitate, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. It is plenty of y'all who say, well, I've been in the music business. No, you have not. You have not been in the music business for a long time. You've been rapping. You've been around some dudes who might have had record deals, but everything that we knew about the music industry, once this internet age hit, does not exist anymore. This is a whole different game. Marketing strategy and promotion is the new way. That's why dudes will crash out, do all types of wild shit as a marketing tool. The way that the rollouts do not exist anymore. So please stop saying, well, I've been in the business, and I know you do not. What you learn don't exist no more. There is no more per diems. There is no more record labels sometimes. Many of these record labels do not even have an office. They will have offices that are phones. They might have a hot desk somewhere. So stop with this, you know this and you know that about the industry. And respectfully, I ain't gonna call out no names, but it is dude with podcasts that like to talk about the music industry. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be real with you, they do not know what the f they're talking about. That's just the truth, because once everything went digital, that's why you got people like Snoop saying, we still ain't figure out this digital shit. We got to figure out. So if you don't know that in the digital age, how are you the CEO of Death Row Records and you put in your music catalogs on digital platforms? So you don't know how you're going to get paid? You don't know how the artist is going to get paid? See how that works? He is the so-called CEO of Death Row Records. So-called CEO of Death Row Records. He don't know how Spotify work? That's a fucking problem. But I know artists that know how Spotify work. I know some artists that know how Spotify work. But the CEO that's worth a couple of $100 million himself don't know. Scarface made a mistake and said, you know, 1 million streams is $4,000. I'm going to be real. Scarface don't know what he talking about. You know why? Because you have something called CPMs. You have different things. It's not the same for everybody. You have some artists who did not use no samples. You have some artists who do not pay producers. They do not do proper splits. They don't do certain things, so they get all the money. So if they stream certain amount of money, 1 million streams ain't going to be 4 racks for them. But he's saying it like that's across the board for everybody. Just like, anyway, I could tell you some shit, but I was ahead of the digital age. But you'll look at me like, oh, what do he know? I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. But you'll see somebody and go pay for a consultation with them, but you won't holler at me when I've been in the business for 20 years. And you have said person who come out the gate and you don't even know that I gave them game. A lot of people, but I ain't gonna talk about me. I'm just saying that when you have veteran artists that's saying, we still ain't figure out this digital shit. So you mean to tell me Westside Gunn and Griselda and certain artists know more about the digital market than Scarface? Because obviously they amassing money. Obviously they doing good streams. Obviously, they figured out the merch and they figured out all of this shit. And Scarface and Snoop don't know, but Westside know. Something wrong. Something wrong. That's why I said when some of these dudes learned about the music industry, they no longer know what they're talking about. That's why they don't want to drop records. That's just the truth. Because when that first week come out and they say, this nigga streamed 20,000, niggas be down in the dumps. They be like, where could I buy some bots from? So Dame, on the other hand, let's bring it back to Dame. He's learning the digital thing with the American New, with getting into the space. So now he's learning certain things. And what he wanted to do, Joe Budden's another one. Joe Budden, come on, Joe Budden making like $1 million and some change a month off of this shit? I gotta salute that. But people will say Joe Budden's a washed up one-hit wonder. So I'd rather be a multi-million-dollar a month making individual and be washed up. Because look at Perception. Perception, and he a washed up rapper. How can he talk about rap? Because he was able to pivot in the same entertainment space. And not to mention, Joe Budden also hosted Hot 97 sometimes early on. So he knows about the media space, but that's another topic. Let's bring it back to Dame. Dame gets into the space. Oh, reason why I brought up Joe Budden, because when Tidal wanted to bring him over, he asked, could he see the back end? See, it's a back end to all of this that y'all don't see. It's a back end. I could show you real quick. Sometimes I make a mistake and I show you. This is the back end. This is what I see. You understand what I'm saying? This is what I see. I see the average viewer has been on here for 8 minutes. I'm projected to have 1,453 views on this video so far. Right now, it shows the amount of people, shows the super chat, and it shows the chat rate. It's like 9 chats. So that's the back end. And then it gets deeper. A lot of people don't know that. But they won't come to me and ask me. They won't book a consultation with me. They'll talk to somebody who don't even handle none of their shit. That's something Dame is figuring out. So that's why every time he does a video, he goes viral. That's why when he responds on his network, right? He responds on his network, or he go where these dudes is paying. Respectfully, I'm not into paying people. Now, we could bust some money up, we could split some money, but shit, I ain't gonna pay you and that motherfucking video be yellow, because that happens sometimes too. And that's a whole nother topic, subject that I don't even want to talk about, because it happens, right? So Dame, instead of him being utilized for his knowledge, because his knowledge that he's going to give away for free because he wants to speak and he's on his big platform, the whole time he's defending himself. So we get cheated. What do we get? We get the shit show. We get entertained. We get nigga shit. But we heard all that nigga shit before. We heard all that. So I feel like we be getting cheated when we got a lot of great minds in our culture that we will write off because he's broke, he's this, he's that, oh, he fell off, oh, look at his teeth, look at his ears. We get the short end of the stick. And one of the things that I told y'all a long time ago, my issue that I had with people like the Nas's, the Jay-Z's, and other people, although they're revered and loved for their music, they don't give the game. The game is within their elite group. They don't give the game. They ain't be giving game. And I think in the right setting, the right questions, he could say, well, this is how this is broken down. This is, and then we could learn something, because all of us, whether you like it or not, we're all aspiring because we didn't make it. Well, I think I'm always going to be aspiring because I'm very hypergamous when it comes to success. I set different goals for myself and I say, well, I did this. Now I want to do this. Now I want to do this. Now I want to do that. That's just me. I'm never satisfied. You know, I always want to do something else. But shit, I would like to have somebody like a Dame put me on to shit. But instead of us listening to the put on, we'll put him off because his teeth is gone. Because he had a patch on his eye. And then we so screwed up in our head, salute to Cam and all his success. We'll look at Cam like he's up now, so let's follow and listen to him. Fuck Dame. And we won't say, well, damn, he put Cam on. Imagine what he taught Cam. We won't say that. We'll just look at who's winning right now in the eyes of materialism. Because we base success off materialism. If a nigga got a certain car, certain jewelry, certain Kim Kardashian, Arab, Spanish-looking, mira, maricon chick, we salute them. They look like they winning. Oh, look at their crib. That's all. If we could put something on it that looks like they're winning, we just say they won. Then we find out dudes' streams is fake. They can't do tours. They can't even book a tour. They sold 7, 8 tickets in every town. But for the meantime, we seen that jewelry was game. We seen the cars was rented, you know. And then you could have somebody like myself who live a certain way. I drive a certain way. But because I'm modest about it, niggas will call me broke. And the people who I gave game to, shout out to my brother Big Fruit. He said it today. Yo, he's one of the ones who gave me game. And I gave all these niggas game. But they're not going to say that because I'm not going to show you my jewelry. I'm not going to show you how I'm driving. I'm not going to show you, yeah, this is a toast with avocado spread. I ain't no fucking weirdo. I'm not going to come from where I come from and think this is the idea of success, trying to shit on you. See, that's what I don't come from. I'm just like you. Like I got to do my laundry and shit, and you know, I mopped today. I had to mop the crib. But if I show you butlers and you know, people look at me like, damn, he doing it. He got a butler. Nah, I got a mop. I gotta clean my shit. Got no dishes in my sink. Like, this is real. But some way they tricked us into thinking regular, normal shit is broke nigga shit. Now I will ask Dame, the cakeaholic, to changing your sneakers 3-4 times a day, to throwing sneakers away, to throwing socks away. What would the new Dame Dash in 2025 say to the 2001 Dame Dash? But we'll still hold him there. And that's one thing we don't do too, give each other room to grow. However you saw me, shit, we get mad when we get old in front of each other. Like, damn, nigga look old. Niggas are saying, yo, 50 look old. 50 is 50. What does a 50-year-old look like? And it bugs me out too, because I'm like, most people from the inner city, you be seeing niggas like 27, wash, one tooth like Gargamel, wash, white shit in the corner of their mouth, wash. But y'all quick to say somebody look old. That's like when people meet you old. Okay, fuck you want me to do? I'm happy to be alive. Like, shit, I'm winning. Like, I know people who gone. I know people who look crazy. I know I got more stamina than most of y'all niggas. I know I could do half of shit. I do more before 12 than some niggas do all day. Oh, you old, you broke, you did. What does that mean? Again, for me personally, I come from nothing. So shit. If I'm able to get a pack of gum at one point, I was happy. But then you got niggas in the hood, like, you know, and this is the thing with y'all that I want y'all to take from what I say sometimes. I talk about myself because I'm a living testament to a lot. And if you could see past being mad at my freedom of speech and freedom to speak on my platform the way that my outlet, because it ain't my platform, to be able to speak on my outlet, it's called Doggie Diamonds No Filter. So I'm going to talk about topics, but then I'm going to make it relatable to me and also make it relatable to you. I know I bother some people because people cannot say what they want because you're told to shut up. You don't even have a voice in your house because if you speak too loud, the top lock will go on. And when you try to get home, you screaming for Wilma at the goddamn door. The top lock is on. You can't even get in. You still, the house phone is put up. You come home, all the dinner is gone. So I know when you see somebody who can say what he want, do what he want within the confines of the terms of service, right? That shit bothers people. The niggas be like, oh, he's arrogant and all that. That niggas don't know me. First of all, one-on-one, many people have never spoken to me one-on-one. And guess what? You ain't gonna get the motherfucking opportunity unless you book a consultation with me, right? But I say a lot about me because, yo, I survived some shit. And guess what? You still going through it. And I already passed that. You get what I'm saying? I already passed that. I already surpassed a lot. So I'm like, yo, I see you going through. I see you struggling. I see a lot of dudes be hypersexual. That's depression, man. A lot of niggas smoke. You know how fucking stressed you got to be to smoke a cigarette? Niggas are smoking cigarettes. Niggas are smoking some shit that they tell you going to die from. Niggas is like this. Bust me down. Just really think about that shit. Think about your chances in life. They like, yo, if you smoke that, you gonna. Like, not if, but when. And you be like, yo, I'm gonna die anyway. Think about how stressed you gotta be to light a fucking cigarette. In 2025, this ain't hooky parties and shit. Niggas meeting up smoking and, you know, smoking. Niggas is going, and in New York, cigarettes like $25. You know how stressed you gotta be to pay $25 for a pack of fucking cigarettes and you can't even light one? Because as soon as you light one, niggas just come out of everywhere. For all you smokers out there, when you light your cigarette, you got like 20 niggas that's like, yo, let me get a drag. Yo, bust me down. Yo, save me some. You can't even smoke your damn cigarette in peace no more. Not in New York. Niggas share cigarettes. Not stress you. Look, listen, any nigga you know who smokes cigarettes, look at that nigga fingers. And ladies, you be letting some of them niggas with them fingers stick their fingers inside of you too. So that's a whole nother topic though. You know what I'm saying? Niggas smoke cigarettes and fucking and drink beers and shit. And I don't know, man. I don't know. But I just wanted to say this. I think Dame Dash is judged based off what we knew. He's not being utilized for who he is today. And with me, I'm a sponge for information. And I respect people who have information. And I think, you know, barring the snap, I don't really care about that shit with him and Cam, because at the end of the day, we could pick a side between him and Cam, and then when they get cool, you know, we look crazy. A lot of rappers did that shit to me. They be beefing with each other, and then I go do content with somebody, and then they be cool again, and they be like, nah, it was him. He asked me the questions. Nigga, you called me. You know what I'm saying? You called me. Like one time I seen J.R. Writer say something about, don't make me come outside to defend Cam and Jim, right? I seen him say that shit, and I was like, you like them niggas? What about the interview that we did? You understand what I'm saying? Like, what about the interview that you don't want the world to see? Because you said some shit in there. You did. Don't front. So dudes say certain shit to you in confidence. That's another thing about me. I want to say that I'm not pussy. I'm not one of them dudes who whisper about other men and then be acting on the internet like we fly and all that. Nah, that nigga's a staff record label and a crew all around the board. I'm not one of them people that you could ask me about somebody and I'd be like, oh no, we could. No, I don't. Listen. Do you want me to tell you? I don't do that. I just don't know how to be fake. And I think in this culture, you gotta be fake, you gotta be phony. And just because I don't like you, that don't mean that I dislike you. If that make any sense, right? Some people be thinking that you don't like them, so you wish the worst for them. I don't wish bad for you. I don't wish good either, but I don't fucking like you. And that's life, right? Yo, I don't like mayonnaise either. I don't like ranch. I don't like blue cheese. I don't like all that shit either. So why should I have to like something because you like it? We got preference, right? Motherfuckers be having preference. I ain't even gonna say that. They're gonna get me up out of here. But you know what I'm gonna say. Niggas could prefer to do some wild shit, but I cannot prefer not to eat mayonnaise. Why you hating on mayonnaise? But that nigga fuck with that nigga. How you fuck with that nigga? And that's his preference. None of y'all get mad. You know what I'm saying? Just some motherfuckers That's like when I do shows and I be thinking niggas is whack. Like, yo, nigga, you can't rap. To me, you can have a whole fan base, but to me, it don't move. You don't get no play in my ride. But I like to spend the time talking about who I like than who I dislike, right? But I know sometimes to get up in this algae and to speak, sometimes I gotta just be like, yo, fuck these niggas, because I really be feeling like that. But they don't live rent-free in my head, but sometimes I see certain shit like this. So look, right? I ain't gonna big them up because they might think they bigger than who they are, right? It's a Twitter page. All they do is goggle Roc Nation all day, Roc-A-Fella, anything Roc-A-Fella, they just goggle them all day on Twitter. Blika went on clout-chasing and said, Jay-Z found out he was hustling and took his work and threw it down the incinerator. But he said to Jay-Z, yo, the lights got cut off. I want to get money. Now that shit sound good to the naked ear. But to somebody like me, it sound like cap because a nigga live in Marcy and public housing and NYCHA, you don't pay utilities. I just had to say that because I'm like, all right, this shit sound good, but you ain't got a cap. In NYCHA, you don't pay utilities. Ask me how I know. I lived in a few NYCHA buildings. You don't pay utilities. You don't pay light and you don't pay gas. So he was in Marcy and say, yo, the lights went out. That's why I started hustling. I'm going to be like, that's cap. But you're going to have some people that's like, it was a figure of speech. So, all right, so when do we use reality with figures of speech? And when do if we're going to tell our story of why we started doing some heinous shit like hustling, when you start out lying, then when do we believe you? You don't pay light and gas and housing. It's just the truth. Anybody will tell you that. So I just call cap. Of course, Goggler's going to be like, well, it's just a figure. I didn't think he meant it literally. No, when you say the lights went out and you live in housing, NYCHA houses, if you say the lights went out, that's why you started hustling, I'm going to call cap. You could use anything else. Don't say them lights went out. Because if you straight up and down, if you live in housing, you know, you let them lights run all day, let that water run all day, them lights run all day. Shit, when they get cold and that housing heat go off, you cut the goddamn stove on with pots in the oven and all that to heat the crib. This is just factual because you don't pay lights and gas and housing in NYCHA. I looked it up to show and prove of what I was saying because people be thinking sometimes when you say shit, you just talking whatever. Bum nigga like, oh, he used AI. I didn't use AI. I used Google. Google is not always AI. It's a simple question. And if more of y'all research instead of regurgitating, because you posting it like it was prolific, oh, he started hustling because his lights went out. Nigga lived in housing. The lights don't go out. Only time the lights go out, the whole piece is a blackout. Ask me how I know. So if I'm gonna listen to your hustling tales, if you throw any cap in there, I'm gonna be like, I don't believe you. Another thing while we talking about hustling tales and cap, if you're a rapper and you so-called sell all these drugs and you whipping the pot and you all that, I don't want to hear about you being locked in a record deal and you can't get out your record deal. Because if you was getting so much goddamn money, what made you sign to anybody in the first place? And that's another thing that I was talking about on Twitter, because people think that, yo, you sign because you need this, you need that. If you are independent and you are getting money, you don't need to sign to nobody. You are getting money. Right now, all you got to do is get your music, put your music on the aggregator. You figured out what that is. I ain't telling y'all. And you put your money out yourself, and then you pay for marketing and promotion and strategy. You do not need a label. So if you are so-called this successful hustler and everything that come out your mouth is how you do this and you can stretch this to stretch that, what the hell are you signing to people for? You don't need them. You got your own money, right? So again, I agree. And look how I'm going to tie this all back in. Bosses going to take losses. So you don't even believe in yourself. So you took somebody's money, but you're rich from the streets. But you took money off somebody, and now they got you locked in paperwork where you can't move, you can't record, you can't do nothing. Person got to sign off for you, the boss, the street guy, the boss. Listen, if I was ever in paperwork that I didn't want to be in, somebody going to get clumped. It just is what it is. I'm getting up out of this. So I don't believe a lot of people. Matter of fact, in all actuality, I don't believe none of these niggas.